Welcome, ye hollows, to Dark Souls in low res, 320 by 240. As you can see, it looks quite atrocious. You might ask, but why? And the answer is nostalgia. An odd nostalgia, but nostalgia. You might ask how, and the answer is DSfix, which you probably know about if you've ever played Dark Souls for the PC. Back in the Age of Ancients, when the world was yet unformed, so like 5 years ago, all I had for gaming was a laptop from Dell. And it was fairly useful. It got me through college. And it could play Skyrim and it could play StarCraft too without too much issue. But it could not play Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls was a bit higher fidelity, but also extremely poorly, terribly optimized. Like, really bad. So, I really could not play Dark Souls on that computer. Even though my computer could actually start Dark Souls, I would encounter just terrible frame rates. Like the Hellkite Dragon Bridge, I was getting like 14 or 16 frames per second. Blighttown, if I ever got there on that frame rate, would have probably been 5 frames per second, which was obviously unplayable. So my solution was to just keep lowering the frame rate with DSfix until I got a workable frame rate. And it eventually was about the frame rate, or about the resolution that you saw on the screen. And even then, it still only had like a 25 to 28 frames per second. So it was not ideal, and I eventually got my current gaming PC, which is so much better. I can actually record. That laptop would never be able to record. But I thought this bit of nostalgia would be a bit interesting. Yeah, you know. And also, it sort of goes into the argument of gameplay versus graphics. And in this case, the masterpiece that is Dark Souls gameplay, to me, far outweighed its graphics. Like, I'm sure there are people who wouldn't play in this resolution. If they had no other choice, they'd just not play Dark Souls. But there are a few people who would definitely lower the resolution in their settings just to be able to play the game. And I was one of them. You of course see this very commonly in more competitive games, multiplayer games of course, like StarCraft 2. The pros would all play in the lowest setting. Not only because it made stealth units at the time easier to see, but because the higher the performance, the better they could do, even if it was ugly. There were a few of them, especially those who were actually streaming and wanted to entertain people, would definitely play on the higher settings. But Dark Souls, for me, was a game that was far worth it. Like, I couldn't get enough of it. Even if I had to play it in a sort of unrecognizable form that is so pixelated that it's almost like a retro game. And with that, well, let's just play some boss battles. I guess that's enough, isn't it? For low-res souls. Have a nice day, and enjoy watching the video. Well, those gargoyles went down easy. Gold pine resin for the win, I suppose. Anyways, my fellow hollows, did you like this video? And if so, would you be interested in me making more low-res Dark Souls videos? I'm guessing probably not, but tell me anyways. Goodbye for now.